Hello and welcome to Physics Basics Net Force. So let's talk about the definition of net force. Net force is essentially the total force, or the greatest force, I guess you could also say, acting on an object. So here we have two forces acting in opposite directions. This one going to the right, this one going to the left. This rectangle represents our object. Now the way to calculate net force, there's two ways they'll come out the same way. One really only works if there's two net forces. First one, take the greatest number, which would be 5 newtons, and then 2 newtons. And the net force is a vector quantity as well. 5 newtons, 2 newtons, take the greatest number, and subtract the other number, which would obviously bring out to 3. Now the other way to do it, which would work for any amount, take the greatest number and find the second greatest number. So we'll add another arrow. Say this is 3 newtons. Take the greatest number, which would be 5, and subtract the second greatest number from it, which would bring it out to 2 newtons. Let's talk about balanced and unbalanced forces. First off, we have two forces acting in the opposite directions. However, you'll notice that they are the same amount. This would be a balanced, excuse my handwriting, or I should say my mouse writing, a balanced force. The balanced forces only happen if all the net force comes out to 0. Now, to get an unbalanced force is whenever the net force is greater than 0. And balanced force will mean that object is accelerating, or depending on the circumstances, decelerating. But net forces should not ever be less than 0. So for example, this object, it has unbalanced forces acting upon it, and it's accelerating 1 newton to the left. And if an object is balanced, it is either at rest or moving at a constant speed. Let's review the definitions of unbalanced and balanced forces. Unbalanced force, when two forces acting on an object are not equal in size. This is an example of an unbalanced force. 15 minus 6 is 9. The net force is greater than 0. Balanced force, when two forces acting on an object are equal in size but act in opposite directions. You can see here, to the right, to the left, the net force is 0. That is all I have for net force. Thank you.